back to Reviews on the Run. A couple of years ago, Vic and I had a very private, lovely beach shoot in which we reviewed Infamous, the original, and I gave it a 10 out of 10.
I love that part.
Here's Infamous 2. Sucker Punch is back. Cole McGrath is back. Zeke is back. Victor Lucas, your preliminary thoughts?
Nix and Quo are part of this. Well, first of all, full disclosure, because Greedy Docs worked on the making of Infamous 2. You can watch all of those cool segments
Are you
online.
done with the boring part?
Well, I just have to tell people that we
Get
did
to the
that.
exciting
It
part
has
now.
nothing to do with my thoughts or feelings about the video game. I really enjoyed this game.
More than the first?
Well, I love the gameplay in this one because everything has been tightened up, and I do feel that this is a really fantastic extension of a lot of the myth and a lot of the fiction that was created in Infamous 1. I do feel, however, that even though the gameplay is tighter and the
you're
characters
already
are
onto a
cool,
butt.
I liked the overarching story in the first game. I like the enemies that Cole fought a little bit more than the
Yeah,
enemies
they
that we
look like
fight.
those guys from Omega Man. Here, the enemies you start off fighting are these kind of backwoods militia types who infiltrated the city of New Marais.
And then you encounter some swamp-type
Some
creatures,
bigger
some
creatures.
enemies.
Yeah, and that's what I liked about the game. You need different tactics in order to beat them.
Yeah.
So I always felt like I was doing different stuff. I wasn't just spamming lightning like I was in the first game.
For once, I am not the biggest freak in town.
The deja vu was a little strong for me. The climbing mechanics were a little problematic, especially after the sort of more fluid climbing mechanics of Assassin's Creed.
Definitely better than the first game, though. Everything has been tweaked so that it's a lot easier to play this one.
But I also felt like I just wanted to get around the city faster at times. And it is fun to get on the power lines and grind like you could in the first game. A lot of times it just felt like it was taking too long for me to climb a building.
Sure.
And then once I got on the power lines and started to grind and started to fly around the city a little bit, I felt a little more powerful.
You know, one of the coolest power-ups you get is the leash, which lets you kind of become this electric Spider-Man for a while, but that's not till way late in the game.
Right.
And I could have used that a lot earlier, but I did love like the superpowers where you're throwing giant tornadoes down the street,
Sure.
or being able to lift up cars and throw them at helicopters and stuff. You just feel like much more of a badass, right? And even the amp hammer that he's got is awesome.
I just wish the targeting was a little better too. I just kind of felt like every time I'd run up to somebody and tried to use the amp, I would just be swinging in the wrong direction over and over again.
It's really not that big of a deal anyways, because every bad guy in this game is really just a target for your lightning attacks.
Well, just a target and an opportunity for more XP.
Yeah.
Everything you're
They're
doing
fodder.
in the game, right. They're
And the
XP
first
fodder.
game, they were fodder as well. You know, you were just sort
sure.
of cutting a swath through them because Cole is the most kick-ass conduit in the franchise. He just rocks as a superhero good guy in this thing, or you can turn him into a badass.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
I played through the game as a good guy and got the good guy ending. I love that there's alternate endings with different characters. I dug the abilities of Nix and Quo, but and hopefully this is part of the DLC, I sure wanted to have those powers as my own. I wanted the ability to fly and bamf into different places.
And that I can't do.
By the time you reach the end of this game, I'm not sure you're going to want any more.
don't know, man.
And that was exactly how I felt at the end of the first game,
This
too.
game's different than the first game. The first game felt like I was done. And this game, you feel fantastic at the end of the game.
because there's no filler this time. Everything feels essential.
It's much more tuned.
But by the time it's done, especially coupled with the first game, I don't think I need any more of Cole McGrath.
I do.
I say bring it.
Give me a score, Vic.
I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. How about yourself?
I'm going to give it a 7.5.